Hi everyone. I posted last week about reviving a piece that I started learning about a year ago, which is the Waltz of the Flowers from the Nutcracker Suite. And I thought it might be a good idea to explain a bit of the process that I'm going through in bringing this piece back to life, having not touched it for 12 months. So what I'd like to talk about today is how I'm using the metronome to help me bring the notes back to my fingers, because all that the muscle memory is there. I just have to do it carefully. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm mostly going to look at the second page, which, if you know anything about music, it looks very busy, but it's just lots and lots and lots of semi-quaver notes, which is a quarter of a beat. So they all need to be nice and even, and the way to do that, the way to train your fingers to play nice and evenly, is with the help of a metronome. So I've just picked a speed that I can keep up with, and I've run through separate hands, which I'll show you in a minute, and then try hands together. And the purpose is you're teaching your fingers to not rush and keep a nice even pace throughout, because it's a whole page of semi-quavers. So I've picked a metronome mark of about 100. This is my mechanical metronome that I use because I prefer it to the digital apps. The digital apps are great, but I find it easier to sort of keep track of the beat because I can see in my peripheral vision this swinging back and forth. So I'll run through the right hand first so you get an idea of what I'm trying to do, okay? Okay, so you might have heard some of those were a bit uneven, and my facial expression probably gives it away. So that's the sort of thing that I would do a few times in a row, keep it at that speed or slightly slower if I found I couldn't get to the notes in time. And what's helpful is all these groups of 4 semiquavers, the first of those 4 is on the beat, so you can give a little bit of an extra push to that first note of each group of 4. So I'm going to try it with the left hand now to see what state that one is in, and then depending on how that goes, I might try it hands together. Okay, so keep the same speed and see if I can keep up. No! Okay, so here is a downfall of using a mechanical metronome. Every so often you have to turn the crank to get it to click again. So let's go again. Right. The left hand is less confident than the right hand, and my fingers are a little bit cold, so I'm finding it harder to keep that in time. But that gives me a good idea of how much I need to do separately before trying it together. I'll try it together now, just to show you that if you try and put it together too soon, it probably will have a lot more fumbles in it. But it's always good to give it a try just to see where you are. So this is, if you're learning to play the piano, this is a useful thing to keep an eye on, because everybody wants to put hands together as soon as they can, because it sounds better, but you can slow your progress down if you do it too soon without keeping up the separate hands practice. So let's give this one a try. So a couple of slips in there, but that's kind of what I expected because it's not totally secure yet. But I hope if you're learning to play the piano, no matter what level you are, I hope that was helpful in understanding how separate hands practice is useful and how to use the metronome when you've got lots of even notes to keep going together.